Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. Um, I wanted to sit here and maybe talk just a little bit, maybe a few minutes of what's going on with the whole EBT food stamp thing. Okay, so we already discussed about how it is obviously gone for everyone in America. We don't have it. Well, it's not completely gone. It's just like shut down. Okay, so basically, all that means is that they are just not um, giving you what you're not giving your benefit, even though you are approved, even though you deserve to get it or whatever you did, everything. You're just not getting your benefits now. With that being said, my issue is that if it's shut down, why are you still accepting applications? Why are you still renewing applications? Um, I think it's kind of crazy because I guess maybe those people still have jobs that they give them something to do, or maybe they're just saying, okay, we're just going to stay so we're caught up, so we don't have to worry about hustling and being behind and processing when everything gets turned back on and everything gets approved or to hand out the benefits. So it's kind of nerve-wracking, and it's almost like a tease for those out there that's wanting to apply, and they're applying and they get the letter saying, hey, you've been approved for the next 4 to 6 months or whatever it is for this amount of money for you and your family. But guess what? We're not giving it to you because the government can't make up their mind on what they want to discuss about and the order of things they discuss. And a lot of it comes down to the main thing is the whole aspect of the healthcare thing. So my understanding, and I believe it is, and correct me if I'm wrong. I might mess this up, but apparently the Democrats wanted to discuss, I think, was the healthcare and things like that, and what all that happens with like Medicaid, Medicare, healthcare.gov, all that, the marketplace stuff. They're discussing the money aspect of that, where, because right now you are able to apply and to sign up for those subsidies, and you have until the end of the year, and it has to be, they're going to figure out, okay, what are we going to do and starting in January. Meanwhile, the Republicans were talking about, I think they wanted to talk about SNAP, and they wanted to talk about things like that, and how to handle are we going to change the regulations on it? Are we going to change the rules on it? And we need to discuss on money wise, what's our budget looking like? Are we going to change how much we're going to give people and families and so forth? Or what are we going to do about that? Well, Democrats didn't want to talk about that, and Republicans didn't want to talk about the healthcare stuff or something. They couldn't decide which one they want to discuss first. And eventually they know they're going to have to discuss both of them. So I'm like, oh, just pick one. But the problem is, though, is they end up coming to a standstill, and now here we are, the little people like us. And when I say us, even if you're not on food stamps, you're still part of this, because it's gonna affect you. Because when people don't have food stamps and they're not spending that money into stores. Stores usually get a lot of their revenue from people that are on food stamps. And when those food stamps are not hitting and people are not going to be shopping, therefore stores are going to make up that revenue. What happens? What they do? They raise the prices. So people that aren't on food stamps are still doing their regular shopping at normal, because they feel like food stamps have nothing to do with them, so their food is not cut off. So they're going to go to the store, but they're going to find out what their regular grocery bills lose you about $150 turns into almost $250, like another $100 right there, because they have to make up that revenue. Now, my issue, it comes down to the government. Who's gonna fix that? The government's not gonna fix that. So it's weird, right? I mean, it's crazy. People don't realize that it comes down to. By the way, that right there. It's not a bug, just so you guys know. That right there it's a push pin. But I just realized on my camera it looks like a bug when I moved my camera. Just want to point that out there. It looks weird, but yeah. Um, but I think honestly that the stores are doing the best they can do. It's not their fault. They're the middlemen. They're stuck. They're like the child between parents that are getting divorced. I mean, they did nothing wrong. The stores are not doing anything wrong. Y'all are getting mad at the stores. You're getting mad at the workers. You're getting mad because you can't get your food. It's not their fault. They have a job and they're just here to. They're just working. They're scanning your items in the checkout. Don't yell at them. You know, I know you're mad, you're frustrated, and you're upset, but it's not their fault. Do not go to the grocery stores to go loot off of shelves. Now, mind you, the other day I saw on TikTok, I think it was, I saw this lady boasting. I mean, she was literally boasting about how she was talking about telling people, she was actually instructing people who are African American to, and actually any people of color, to go to white neighborhoods and go to their stores and take food off their shelves. Go just walk. And she was literally filming herself walking to said store, getting items, food items, any kind of food items. She didn't fill the cart all the way up, like overflowing, but she got a good, decent amount, almost a week's worth of groceries here. She got them, put them in her cart. Obviously, there's no bagging, there's no bags or nothing like that. And she had literally pushed the cart out the door. And she's like, see, no bags, no, no security. There was actually a TV, like a monitor, and it, you know how those, sometimes at the grocery store you see a monitor and you see yourself walking into the store, there was that, and it saw her like walk out, and she's like, no security, nobody's coming after me, nothing, I'm just walking. And she walked all the way supposedly to her car, I guess. So, and then that kind of ended the TikTok, and I'm just like, I'm like, but she was telling people, see, go to the white neighborhoods. They're not going to stop you. They're not going, they don't care. They're just going to just go there, go to those neighborhoods, go to those stores and take their food. Take the food off there. She's, okay, I'm over here, two things. I'm over here like, where is the moderation, and let's remove said video because it's inciting harm. That's, to me, it seems no different than y'all saying that Trump said everybody come down to the White House and storm the White House. That's inciting. It's like an insurrection. It's like it's inciting people to come and storm into a building, well, in masses. What is she doing? She's telling me, y'all come on down and y'all come in and steal from the white neighborhood stores. Don't steal from the ghetto. Don't steal from black neighborhoods. Let's steal from the white neighborhoods. Second, the fact that there's actually people are still saying white neighborhoods and black neighborhoods. We live in America. I've never literally been in a neighborhood where there's nothing but white people in it. I've never been in a neighborhood where there's nothing but black people in it. I have seen, is there a dominance of a certain race in certain neighborhoods? Yes. Because people feel, one, they moved there, they built their families didn't want to leave the neighborhood, so they like started living in the house next door, or they lived like across the street or right down the street, and then they had kids, and then their kids stayed, and they grew, and also some people rather feel more comfortable living in areas where they know they're going to be accepted and they don't have to worry about watching their back, or they don't have to worry about feeling pressured or anything like that. So they feel safe for themselves. So they end up living in a neighborhood that's dominantly whatever color skin they are. And so that means more, and then more people start doing the same thing. And yeah, I understand. I've seen that, but I've not seen 100% white neighborhood, 100% African American neighborhood. I have never seen that. And here in America, the fact this is 2025 and we're still saying that. Go to the white neighborhood. Stay out of the black people neighborhood. Those are the black people school. I mean, it's like, the fact that that is one, it's even allowed, and people are not saying that you are racist when you're saying those things, because I believe it is racist. I don't care if it's in a positive light or a negative light, it's still racism. You are literally singling out a certain, demographic to either cause harm or to promote. You're like, hey, come to the black neighborhood because the stuff's cheaper over there because it's the ghetto, and that's where all the dollar stores are at. I mean, is that a bad thing? No, but at the same time, it's still racist. It's just like you just sit there and say, come to the white neighborhood because they don't care and here they got food. Let's take their food. Let's go to their stores. Like, well, that'd be great because maybe we can teach people about intermingling into the races. We can actually say, hey, come on, the white neighborhoods. I mean, what are you trying to say? I'm sorry. I feel like when you think that those stores are nice looking, or that they have products, they don't have no security or whatever. Have you ever thought about maybe they didn't feel the need to because the people that dominantly shop in that neighborhood are that they live in that neighborhood, they work hard for what they got. They have jobs. They don't sit there and expect anybody to do things for them. They do it for themselves. They literally they stayed in school. They didn't drop out at, sophomore year of high school. They didn't decide to get pregnant at 13 years old and have 8 or 9 kids by 6, 7, 8 different baby daddies, and they didn't do it because they wanted to stay on the system. They literally fought their way to make sure they're not ever going to be on the system. And not only that, they continue their education so they can get degrees, so they can actually go to a job that they can work themselves up the ladder to get that paycheck, so they don't have to worry about paying their bills. Or they networked good enough where they didn't have to go to school, but yet they still got those jobs where they were able to, again, get that paycheck and pay for their bills and pay for to keep the upkeep of their home, to pay for, to donate actually to charities. Those white neighborhoods that you're claiming that you're in are actually probably the ones that are keeping the food banks up and running. They're the ones who are paying for that food stamps. They're putting money into it. They're paying those taxes. And for you to sit there and say, let's go to their store to loot is a problem. So I just think it's crazy. The fact that, I mean, that you sit there and say that let's go to the white neighborhoods to loot is going to solve your problem. Your problem is it's not their fault. So going to their store, yes, you did not get stopped by security because they didn't feel the need to have security in the first place, because that nothing ever happens over there because they don't have to deal with people with the same mindset as you. It's not because you are black. It's because you have a mindset of, I'm owed this. I need this. And I'm going to take this. Regardless of payment, regardless of who it affects, you are so selfish and so self-serving and righteous to do this. And I'm not saying this because I'm also white myself, but I don't live in that white neighborhood. I'm just telling you that right now. I am far, no, I'm not, that's not me. I'm actually, all my life, I have lived in neighborhoods that are dominantly very multicultural, individuals. I have been raised by a village, basically. I literally have had nothing but, not, I've had, majority of my friends were either African American, Hispanic, even I've had a few Asian friends. I've had more of them than actually white friends because that was dominantly what was around me. So don't come after me if I sit there and talk about this, and you disagree with what I'm saying just because you see that I'm white. Don't assume I live in a white neighborhood because I'm white. Don't assume that I'm white privileged because I'm white. Just know that I'm letting you that a lot of this has to do with common sense. A lot of this has to do with not just how you're raised, it's that how you see life, how you respect people around you, how you are dealing with it. You don't like the fact that your neighborhood Walmart, I guess, that is supposed to be in a dominantly African American area, you don't like that because they have security stopping you at the scanning, the self checkout. But so you go to the white neighborhoods, and yes, they have a Walmart too. You're going to there, and you think you could just walk in and just think they're not going to stop you. I think you're more likely to be stopped there than you would at your own Walmart. But I'll putting that aside, your concept is saying go to the white neighborhoods because then you can get away with stealing. Then because no one's going to stop you because no one's sitting there, standing there watching you. Girlie, they're watching you. I mean, they have cameras. They're just not going to fight you. They're not going to come after you and try to stop you before leaving the actual store. They're going to let you walk out that store. They got cameras. They're going to watch and see what car you go to. They're going to zoom in on that license plate. And then they're going to end up contacting the cops. And then the cops are going to find out where you live. Then they will come to your door, knock on the door, and they are going to say, hey, can you turn around, put your hands behind your back? Because they've and that's what, and then next thing you know it, you're going to get trespassed and you're going to jail for theft. You're not going to get away with it just because you change neighborhoods. You can't get away with it. It's not going to magically just go away. You can't run from that. You can't just say, oh, I'll get arrested if I shop in not really shopping, you're really like looting in my neighborhood because I'm black and it's a black neighborhood. But if I go to a white neighborhood, they're not going to stop me and they're not going to arrest me and nothing like that, and I can get away with it. Where is that mind? Well, I don't understand where the connections meet. But anyways, I mean, I can only speak from my point of view because I am white, but this has nothing to do with race. It should not have nothing to do with race. When it comes to food stamps and you getting mad and angry because your stuff got cut off, and so now you're going to go to the stores and start stealing food, that is one, you're taking money off of other people's table, their food off the table, because you don't realize the ripple effect. I think some people with the mindset, and it's really ratchet mindset, that they don't think ripple effects. Maybe they were never taught. Maybe they were just always raised to think about themselves and that's it. Just them and their kid. That's it. They don't care. They don't care about the people after, after them. They're in their little circle. They're not thinking the bigger picture here. And I think I'm not saying this, and it has nothing to do with race. That's the funny thing. There are white people out there that are the same way. There are white people literally out there that are the same way as this lady. They don't care. And again, so when you sit there and say, oh, go to the white neighborhoods, there is no white neighborhood. I'm sorry. If you're saying, oh, the white neighborhood and the black neighborhood, I know that you're looking at what you're saying because it's white neighborhood because the houses are nice. Have you not realized that if you probably go knock on one of those doors, you may find an African American family. You may find an Indian American family. You may find a Asian American family. You may find another race besides white behind those closed doors. I mean, have you done the census yet? Have you actually looked at it? You know what I'm saying? I just think it's crazy. I really do. I think it's just the mindset behind everything just to think about it all is insane. And I know I was only going to talk about this for a few minutes, but I just went on and on and on about it because it really bothers me. Because as a white woman, I am sick and tired of being placed as if that I am automatically better than everyone else. I'm automatically better than the black person next to me. I'm sorry. I never gave you that impression. I never told you that. And I'm not acting like it. I am shopping at the same stores you are. I went to the same schools as you guys. I have lived in the same neighborhoods as you guys. My car is literally over 20 years old. I only have one. I mean, it's not like I have 3 or 4 of them. And I live in a typical 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. It is not and it's one story. It's not even 2. It's not even like my daughter always says, it's got columns. It must be rich. I don't even have that. It's like, my neighbors are African American. And on the other side of me, they're Indian American, and the people across the street are African American, and the ones next door to them, they're white, and then so forth. I mean, that's the kind of neighborhood I live in. So to sit there and talk about how you're just good that you go to the white neighborhood or the black neighborhood or whatever, what hoods are y'all talking about? Because I mean, all I can think of is that you're just saying because it's a dominant senses of there's more African Americans that live in these couples blocks, it's the black neighborhood. Why is it dominant? Because in African Americans that live over here. Have you ever thought about asking that question? Maybe because they haven't helped themselves to get out of that area. They choose not to. Or and I know people are gonna come after me and say, well, maybe because they haven't given the opportunities because the system is racist. That could be a whole other video. But I will say this. The system is not entirely racist. It's all, yes, well, you may have to work a little bit harder than the person next to you who is probably white. Yes. Just like if you're a woman, you have to work a little bit harder than the man that is next to you. And they can just walk in. So, but is it racist? It's not entirely racist. I think racism, a lot of it is it's in your mind. It's like being a hypochondriac. It's like, are you really sick, or are you just talking yourself up to being sick? Is it really racist, or do you just feel like it is because you're not getting your way, or because you feel like you could just walk into a job and say, I want this job, but you don't have the credentials, you don't have the education, you don't have the references, you don't have anything that fits that criteria. And not only that, even if you did, how's your attitude? Did you check your attitude at the door? What are you dressed as? I mean, have you even thought about that? I mean, it doesn't make sense. I mean, it's like, I just feel like that people think that you can just because your color of skin, you have a benefit. And that's not entirely true. Someone that walks in a job just because they're white does not automatically say, oh, yeah, you're going to get the job because you're white. That's not always true. As many times I walked in jobs, I actually went to gotten the education. I got my certifications and stuff, but been turned down the job because I don't have the work experience. And I'm over here arguing with them thinking, how am I going to get the work experience if you're not going to hire me? I have the education, but because the school I went to, they didn't give me the internship. So therefore, to get my foot in the door. But that's a whole nother thing. But like I said, guys, I think honestly, this whole concept of the system is racist and the white neighborhoods, the black neighborhoods, and the whole thing with SNAP, I think there's a bigger picture we're all missing, or we are refusing to see because we know it's going to be the truth and it's going to prove us wrong. And that's the problem. We need to face the fact that maybe it isn't racist, and maybe it's just me. Or I'm not gonna say there are racist people out there. There are racist people out there that probably looked at you and said, no, you're not getting the job. And before they even talk to you, they've already made up their mind, but they have to talk to you because they don't want to be called out as racist, but they probably are. But I'm not saying there's not any out there, but I don't think there are as many out there, especially with the way things work nowadays. We have AI that are filtering out resumes. And I wouldn't be surprised if AI starts doing the whole SNAP applications. I wouldn't be surprised if AI controls the whole thing and you never really get a chance to talk to somebody, to do your interviews, to get it. I wouldn't be surprised that happens. And maybe they were probably getting it ready to roll that out. I don't know. But yeah, so one more quick thing though, guys, before I end this video. I mentioned this the other day to my my daughter, that I mentioned that when the whole food stamps things were getting cut off and everything, and I said, why don't stores tell people, if you bring out your benefits letter saying that you're getting this, you're approved for this month, this is how much you're allotted, whatever it is. If people bring that in and they bring their food stamp actual card in as well, and I don't understand, why can't they just do that? Bring it up to customer service, they verify everything, and they could just give them a voucher for a week's worth of groceries, every week, or, something that's either equivalent or at least half of what they normally would get, so they can at least get something at the grocery store so they can get their groceries without having to worry about paying for it until the government fixes their stuff. And then the stores, they recuperate that money so they can pay their suppliers. They can just apply for the government to pay them back, and like it's almost like a stimulus thing. And I'm like, why can't they just do that, And it just made sense to me. That way that nobody would go without. And it seems so simple. My daughter was like, that's just so messy, though, because I can see it being abused, or I can see people, taking advantage of it in a wrong kind of way, or workers, overriding people because of their friends or their family members, and it could be a mess. And I'm like, well, true, but at the same time, I I just feel like there's got to be something like that in that mind concept that should work. Well, unfortunately, that's not happened, but something similar did happen. I came across an article early this morning. I came across it. Virginia. Virginia, and it's so weird why Virginia out of all of them, but Virginia actually came up with a system that's working for them. It's called VENA, VENA, and I think it stands for Virginia Emergency um, Nutritional Assistance. And that it's only for people that are citizens of Virginia that could show proof and are like that. If they got food stamps and say all they have to do is they bring their food stamp card in, and they say if you get $200 a month, you will be they will put $50 onto your card for you to get a week's worth of groceries. And every week you come back in, like every Sunday or something like that, you come in, and Sunday or Monday, and your card gets reloaded with another $50 for that week, and until you get your 4 weeks, which is $200. To me, this is excellent in many ways. One, the state controls it. Two, also, no one is going without. You may not get everything you want right now, and you're thinking, I need that, I need to use that, I need extra $10 for this because my kid has a birthday and I want to get this extra cake or cookies or something like that for my kid. You're just gonna have to take it away from something else. You're not gonna get extra. You're just gonna get your $50 and so forth. Now, if you get, like, say, if you get $1,000 a month, which is insane to me, you do that divided by 4, and that's how much you're going to get every week. And then as soon as the federal side of things works out, then you'll be on the final week, and then your stuff will be loaded, and that system will shut down. And how they're going to recuperate that money, I don't know. But what I do know is I think it's kind of funny that they roll this out after I mentioned about why don't the stores, give out vouchers if people prove that they do get food stamps, hand out vouchers so they can get some food in. It may not be a lot, but it's something, so they're not going without. And now Virginia rolled this out, and I thought that's kind of a similar to my idea. And I thought it was kind of crazy because I thought of this idea like over a week ago, and then this came up, and now it's breaking news that Virginia is doing this. And I can tell that probably I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of other states implement the same similar thing. Now, where is this money coming from? This emergency money coming from? I don't know. I didn't read the full article, which is probably my bad, but if I had to guess, I would say probably from almost like a state of emergency kind of thing, or like, when natural disasters happen. I wonder if they're using funds from that. And then they thought maybe we can, we'll get reimbursed. We'll refill it back up after the lights get turned back on, and I'm wondering if that's going to happen, or they're going to have a temporary tax increase. I don't know if Virginia pays state taxes, but I'm in Texas. We don't have that, so we don't have state taxes, but Virginia, I'm thinking they do probably, so they may raise the state tax just for this to replenish some of that money for temporarily. It's messy, but if it works for now and it gets food on the table and it keeps looters from looting stores, keeps the stores open, the stores are still going to get paid, they're still going to get shoppers in, and in the end, everyone's kind of happy. enough, you know, that you won't have to worry about, chaos. You don't have to worry about, riots or anything like that. And there's not much of a loss. So I think that's pretty smart. I really do. What do you guys think about the whole thing with Virginia? I mean, look into it, read about it. If you do live in Virginia, and you know about this, comment down below, educate me, because I'm curious about it and I'm wondering, I think Texas should do that same thing, because I think it'd be great. We have the greatest food bank ever here, besides California, but ours is really well. Problem is, though, ours is it's being very overloaded because they have to deal with the federal workers, the military, and their families, on top of people that are already using it and then you got the influx of more people having to use it. So it's really tough. It's yeah, pray for Texans over here. But other than that, I mean, I think it's great. I do. I think it's good. I mean, I just thought it was kind of a crazy idea that I thought of something similar, and then a week later this happened. Did I foreshadow that? I don't know. But I mean, I did mention it on here, but I doubt somebody that was a lawmaker up there saw my video and they were like, "Hey, why don't we think of this?" I don't know. I'm not that important. You can tell by now, because guys, I don't have very many subscribers, and you guys are not hardly ever. You're not really watching my videos, which is insane. I mean, you're not getting an idea of me being raw here without me having doing edited videos. So, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because, like I said, I'm working on things, and I'm working on a great. I'm working on a great video. I'll tell you a little bit about it. I'm doing a true crime video of a murder that took place in the 80s. Unfortunately, I was thinking maybe too bad they didn't have police cams, because I thought about maybe see if I can get a police cam and just pay for the footage, but they didn't have it back then. So, but it takes place in California, in Orange Grove. It was in the 80s, and you guys may have heard of it. And I'm working on the video with that. It has to do with the Brown family. There's a whole influx. I have got a whiteboard right here of nothing but, that is the whole like book, and I'm still got like maybe 15 more chapters to read. The book is literally that thick, and it does have photos, which I may take a picture of those photos and put it uploaded, so you guys can kind of see what I saw. But they're not. I wish they were in color, but they're not. But I'm probably sure I could probably find a bunch of that stuff online, and then add it to the video. But I was gonna tell you the story about it, tell you how it goes, give you basically a short version of it. The video that I may post, it will probably be a pretty good lengthy one. I'm talking about probably over an hour. So because there's so much, it's so dense, and so many people are involved. It's a whole family, just so you guys know. And it's a lot of manipulation. There's murder. There is, I mean, drama, tea. I mean, it's all there. It seems crazy because you're thinking, it's not that it's going to be kind of boring because it was in the 80s or whatever it is. But no, this thing went nation. People were watching it on the news. It is all over the place. But anyways, yeah, I just want to let you guys know I'm working on that. I'm going to try to see if I can finish up reading this book before I actually start in on that video. So I'm hoping either probably December or January we'll have it out there. I know I keep pushing it back, but it's only because I haven't had time. I didn't want to work on the video until I finished the book, and I hadn't had time to really sit down and read as much of the book, because I've been doing other things around here. So it's my fault, but stay tuned. Make sure you hit the notification bell, because you may get surprised one day and be like, hey, you should put out a video or whatever. So if anything, make sure you're at least subscribed. That way you'll come through your feed. Like these videos, because therefore it also, again, the algorithms will say, hey, since you like that video, you'll see more of my videos come through your feed. So not only that, it helps me out as well, because I want to be seen, guys. Come on, help me out. So I know I'm not the prettiest to look at or the most interested to listen to, because I say a lot because I don't have a script. I'm just talking at the top of my head, so you guys have to just go with that, at least for now. I promise you, when I do that video, it will be scripted. I'll have it all together. But these kind of videos, this like doing this right now, that's just me. Talking just randomly. I just picked up my phone, started recording, and wanted to talk about some stuff. So that's how it goes. Anyways, guys, Thanksgiving's coming up. I hope you guys had a great Halloween. Ours wasn't that bad. I like one house, one of the neighbors. I watched them the whole past month or two decorate their whole yard, and it was like full of stuff. If you're on my socials, you probably saw the videos that I posted about it and me being there and some pictures and stuff I took. But yeah, they went all out. It was crazy. So I was like, I told my husband, I said, I don't care. I'm going in my PJs. I'm gonna throw my shoes on. I clearly walked down the street across a busy road and actually went to go walk around and look at their decorations because I thought it was greatly done. And I told them they did awesome. And I just wish they did the same thing for Christmas. I think this is the second time they've done this, but I don't remember last year's. So this is the second time they've done this. So, but I hope that'd be great if they ever get it, do Christmas because just as big because that'd be great to look at. They went all out. I'm talking about it looks like Spirit Halloween basically threw up in their yard. The animatronics, they did everything, and it was they had fog machines. They had a whole big old carriage. I mean, with skeletons and horses. It was great. It was very crowded. I tell you what, I didn't know we had that many kids in this neighborhood, but well, apparently we do. But yeah, Halloween was good. I mean, I ended up watching all the classic, movies, the ones on Disney. I watched, any of the scary stuff. I watched campy movies. Ate candy as much as I can. A lot of chocolate, like I need it. And yeah, just relaxed, hung out with my daughter. It was all good. So and then we just ended up taking down all the decorations and we decorated a little bit for Thanksgiving, put a little bit more leaves and fall stuff out. And then Thanksgiving weekend, we're going to decorate for Christmas. So we usually do, our tradition is we always get our Christmas tree because we always get real tree. We always get a real tree. I'm one of those people, I will not get aluminum tree. If I can help it. I don't want a plastic tree. I mean, but if I ever have to, I will. I did have a couple like small baby ones, I would place around the house. They're plastic, obviously, but my actual real tree is real, my actual big one. We always get a real one, and we usually get one like round. I'd love to try to go to like the Christmas tree farms versus big box stores, but the Christmas tree farms here lately have been, kind of mediocre a little bit. Like the choices, what they have are not the greatest, and I think it's more weather related than anything. So it's almost like I kind of have no choice but to kind of go to the big box stores to get a tree. But once we get a tree, I don't care where I got it out. As long as it doesn't die on me before Christmas, we're good. So I get that, and we let's do that Thanksgiving weekend, and then we decorate everything. So it's like, well, as soon as we have turkey, Thanksgiving stuff goes down and Christmas stuff goes up. Usually that weekend, and so we may do it a day or so earlier because my daughter's in college, so she's gonna have to go back sooner than what we wanted, and I wanted her to help decorate because that's our tradition. So we may do it a day earlier than we normally do it. So, but instead of Black Friday shopping, we get Christmas tree and we decorate. Black Friday is just a total rip. I mean, I used to do it when my daughter was little, but then again, that was like in the early 2000s, early 2010s. After that, I slowed down on it. Cyber Monday was my big thing. I remember one year I actually got a really good deal because Disney was running a really good deal, and the only thing I got on Cyber Monday was I booked a Disney World vacation. The first time I've ever been, my husband's ever been, our daughter's ever been. And then it was just going to be us three. But then when Christmas morning arrived and we announced it, we gave it to our daughter and she read it. She's like, oh my God, we're going to Disney World. But that was the only gift I got. And, I gave to everybody. And I did that. And then as soon as we announced that, it seemed like my in-laws and my parents and so what, they were like, I think they were kind of interested too, so they wanted to go too. So then it turned in from between 3 people to turn into, in the end, it's like 6 or 7 people. So I had to literally, and I was doing all the planning. So I was actually planning everybody. I was like, okay, so this is y'all's portion of the money part. This is our portion, and this is when it's due by, because we were making payments because we had a whole year to plan for it, and I made monthly payments to make sure it was all paid up. And yeah, it was the best week ever, but I really wish we could have stayed longer, and there's so much more I wanted to do and everything, and I feel like I want to redeem it. So, but I right now, the way the cost is right now, Disney's out of their mind. I don't think I'll ever go. And I told myself, if I ever went again, I want to go for like 2 or 3 weeks, but not just to stay there, but I want to experience all of Orlando a little bit. I want to also have a couple days in between to rest and chill, maybe go to the beach, and have a relaxed time as well, on top of going to Universal or going to SeaWorld or all that. So I would want to do all those things, but do I think it's ever going to happen unless we win the lottery? No. So I've learned to let that go. But yeah, so this year, the only thing I really asked for this year is actually I'm trying to and working on trying to save money for me to get eventually I'm going to get all these teeth right here taken out, and so I'm gonna be completely toothless. And then eventually I will get I already have my tops, so I'll get my bottom ones, and then I can actually have a full mouth of teeth and actually be able to eat properly. I'll be able to try to learn to speak better, and I'll be able to, I think overall health wise, I'll probably be a little bit better, and I would probably have better mental health and not so be insecure and everything. Actually, I'm not as insecure as I was before, but because I'd rather have no teeth than the teeth I did have, so I'm not as insecure. But my quality of life is not the greatest either, though, so it's got to get better. So that's mainly my main things for Christmas. I'm really kind of requesting. So yeah, I just wanted to. I don't, and I'm not one to make a GoFundMe page. So, I mean, if anybody was wanting to donate, that'd be great. I would welcome that. But I'm never going to ask you guys for money if I can help it. I will never request any of that stuff. I mean, I used to put my Cash App on here, but I got to a point I realized that I'm not. Yes, the Cash App. And no one ever donated it. No one ever gave me money, but the only reason I did put it up here in the past when I first started my YouTube was because I was going to use those said funds to put towards editing software, hardware on my computer, and also help pay for a cost when it comes to putting out the videos and paying for the subscriptions to like news articles, newspapers, websites, getting all the details and everything, paying for those things. It costs, all that stuff costs money, and so I was going to use that money for that. So, but of course I still did it, but I ended up going in depth with it. But nothing came of it. So now I'm just gonna have to just kind of go with what I know and what I have. So, but if you guys ever want even better video or more content or deeper content of certain things, keep that in mind though. It does cost money. So it's not because I don't want to do it. It's not because you know, I it's because I can't do it, because I don't have the funds, or I'm using my funds to pay other bills that are more important, like, I don't know, electricity, internet. I mean, so with that being said, guys, this video went really long. If you made it all the way to here, I love you guys. But again, so that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say about everything. I mean, like I said, I hope you guys had a great Halloween. I'm looking forward to Turkey Day. Gonna eat all the fixings, as much as whatever I can afford to buy. And if we can find it, no one stole it out of the stores. I don't know. Maybe I have to go to a certain neighborhood to get it. I don't know. Anyways, bad joke. So I hope you guys have a good day, and I hope you guys continue to stay subscribed. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please check out my other past videos. I deleted so many of them in the past, but because I kind of wanted to start over, and I may delete a little bit more and do another fresh slate. I mean, it'll be like the 4th try at this, but yeah. Also, I guess make sure that you hit that notification bell so you see whenever I put out another video, because you never know. And stay tuned. Like I told you guys, I'm gonna, as soon as I finish this book, I'm gonna start working on that true crime book, that true crime video. And yeah, so I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for making it to the end, and hit that subscribe button, please. I love you guys. Bye.